By the way, the end of this video, I went live on my trading platform, did a live trade today, and showed you how to make money. You can see the strategy that I use, and you'll see how it works, and I think you'll enjoy it. So you may want to scan that link and try it out for yourself. That's at the end of this video. Hey everybody, Will Fix here. Got another video for you today. Wow, it's been a rough days in the market with the anticipation of Liberation Day, which it doesn't feel like Liberation Day, but we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Right now, here's just a little bit about the Decent Wallet. We'll be right back. Are you looking for a secure way to store your digital assets? Let me introduce you to the Decent Wallet. It has biometric authentication for cold storage. It's easily to store your XRP, XDC, HBAR, and 3,800 other tokens. Get peace of mind with the Decent Wallet. Your keys, your control, always safe. Order now and get free shipping. Thank you for looking at that. We're also towards the end of this video. I want to show you how I've made money. This is XRP's chart right here. And this whole time down, I've made money. I've made great money. Yesterday, a little over $1,100 trading futures. And I thought I would show you that strategy if you're interested. So if you see the image that you can scan with your phone, use that. They'll give you some money when you sign up. And you can just put just a few $100s. You don't have to have a ton of money. But I want to show you a strategy that works for me. During this downward pressure, and will work when there's upward pressure, you can trade futures on BTCC. They don't have dates. They're called perpetual futures. So you're not buying strike prices like options, and you're buying at the price it's currently at, and you're choosing, do you think it's going to go up or down? Then you choose your multiple up to a 500x. And it's not very complicated. It's pretty simple to grasp, but I'm going to show that to you, so stay tuned for that. Now, today we're going to cover an article that came out that is talking about how Trump's Liberation Day might affect the economy. So let's get started. Also with this article, we're going to bring back the AC/DC voting deal where you either agree and concur, AC, or you disagree and dispute, DC, with the article. So then you'll put AC or DC at the article if you agree and be able to make a comment. And if you like that section, by the way, I hadn't done it in a while, if you like this AC/DC type section, give me a thumbs up. And put a number 1 in the comments, and I'll be sure to add it back when we're covering articles. AC/DC segment. This article came out 2 days ago by Joel Mathis. He is calling it Liberation Day. It is a branding term for the moment when President Donald Trump's promised regime of retaliatory tariffs, I don't like him using that term, against America's trading partners go into effect perhaps on April the 2nd. And it could shake up the global economy. Now, I agree, but it's not retaliatory. They started it. So there's only a tariff being added if they have a tariff on us. All we're doing is matching it. So this 25% tariff, if these countries don't want it, all they have to do is drop their tariff that they're charging us. And then it's even Steven, man. It's free trade between us. So keep that in mind while all the rhetoric's flying, that these countries have the opportunity to stop the tariff that they have against us. So all we're doing is reciprocating, same for same. And I like it. Trump has been promoting April 2nd as a kind of tariffs Super Bowl, said CNN, but it remains unclear how far the White House is willing to go. The president has sent mixed signals about the depth and breadth of the new tariffs he will impose, said Yahoo Finance. He was talked about giving a lot of country breaks from tariffs, but he has also said that he does not want too many exceptions. It's an ongoing discussion, Trump said to Newsmax. Consumers are rattled, said economist Carl Weinberg, The Guardian. Consumer confidence plunged to the lowest level in more than 4 years in March because of tariff fears. The conference board, which conducts the survey, said respondents reported their worries about the impact of the trade policies and tariffs in particular on the rise. Brace for the worst. Trump's new reciprocal tariffs could be an important first step to revitalizing America's manufacturing sector, said Christopher Tang at Barron's. Yes, the president's fluctuating tariff announcements has caused confusion and nervousness for consumers and businesses, but it isn't partisan. To note that U.S. manufacturing is in decline, tariffs can provide an incentive towards fostering a robust domestic manufacturing ecosystem. Man, I totally agree. Because tariffs are in essence a tax on consumers, Trump's Liberation Day offers the sort of liberation that most corporate bosses and investors would happily do without, said The Economist. The upside is that April 2nd will at least bring certainty about the president's economic path. Even experts have been confounded about what to expect. I don't know anyone who has a lot of confidence in their forecast, said Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Last week, one way to deal with all of the economic uncertainty, said The Economist, is to brace for the worst. Scurrying to find alternative markets. Liberation Day will expose the Trump administration's bark versus bite ratio, said John Authors at Bloomberg. Trump is using the branding to signal imminent liberation of the U.S. from what he calls an unfair world trade order. But there is still a chance that investors who once thought Trump's tariff bark would be worse than his bite will be proven correct. In the meantime, the president's threats are reshaping the world economy. America's trading partners are already scurrying to find alternative markets for their goods, Authors said. The new round of tariffs will likely put downward pressure on the U.S. economic growth, said ABC News. Goldman Sachs earlier this month hiked its odds of a recession from 15 to 20%, said the network. For now, though, the American economy remains in good shape. All right, go ahead and get your vote in. Hit the thumbs up, put AC or DC about the article. Now we're going to speculate a little bit about that same article. And what I wonder is, it's probably not going to happen, so I'm not saying it's going to happen. But what I'm wondering is, calling it Liberation Day whenever it's something that looks like it would impact the markets negatively, is interesting that he would say it's Liberation Day. Liberation from what? Well, he has been mentioning the external IRS, and he has mentioned abolishing the IRS and there being just a tax whenever you purchase something. What if he's held it in hand and mentions that on Liberation Day, and you and me no longer have income tax paid in the same way? We just have a flat rate tax at the cash register. Would that not be amazing? Everyone's paychecks. Talk about stimulating the economy. Man, I was talking to my son, between him and his wife. It would be well over $100,000 a year if they did. They pay well over $100,000 a year in taxes. If you make a good income, you pay a significant amount of tax. And imagine all that extra money hitting the economy. I mean, that's mind-blowing. And the cutting all of these DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, cutting all of the spending, you put it all together, he's cutting all the spending and then raising the tariff tax, and all he's doing is saying, hey, you charge us, we charge you. It's just something different, something new we've started. But they can lower theirs, and that lowers ours, right? So it's as fair as humanly possible. If me and you are trading and I charged you 5% for trading and you charge me 5%, there's no way that that's unfair to either one of us. Then, however, that's an interesting idea, though. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments. If you believe that that announcement could be this Tuesday, what would you put? Put 777 in the comments. I'd like to see how many of you feel that way. Very interesting, but that's a point of speculation. And what do you speculate might be? Is you think there's going to be an additional message, or that it's just the tariffs? Let me know. Now I want to show you something. I want to show you how to make money when the market turns down or goes up, where you can take just a little bit of money and you can learn how to make money every single day doing some simple trading on your own using the BTCC platform. You can see the scan icon popping up now. So stay tuned, and I want to show you a strategy that I made over $1,100 yesterday using. Now I'm on the BTCC site, so you've already added your money, and let's say you're prepared to trade, and now we're looking live. And here we got this candle, and this is live 531 on 3/28/2025. So I see a little bit coming down. I see momentum changing directions, and I see what's going on here with the MACD on volume, and we see that arrow coming down. So let's say I want to add a short position. Now I suggest on this strategy, what I do is I'm going to add 1,000. So open a short. Now you see this line that showed up? I'll start making profit when it goes below that line and then passes my fees. So we've established a small position. Now, interesting enough, let's say the price goes up like it's going up right now. All I have to do is buy another 1,000 to split the difference between here and here. So if it goes up, so I'll wait a minute, because if it goes up more, I can open up with another 1,000. Now, how many times can I do that? Well, as much as my money will allow me. In other words, how much are you investing? This is a 50x trade, and I've got over $4,000 in there. You don't have to trade with that much, but see that going up? See it going up? So I'm like, look at the distance there. I mean, we don't want to be there. Now I'm doing this as an example. And you see where I would really want to wait, right? I would want to see if we had a change of direction, and I would follow momentum. Momentum seems to be subsiding just a little. So let's say I'm going to open up another $1,000 short, and watch that red line move. Put in 1,000. I forget. The phone, you don't have to put it in each time. I do most trading on my phone. Okay. Open short. So see that? That's put me close. See how it dragged my line up on a short? Now you can do this the same way in a long position. It's just exactly the opposite. If the price goes down, you want to establish a long position at the lowest price possible and make as much as it goes up, right? So the opposite's true in a short position. Now, for me to do this again, now I have 2,000 XRP involved in that. And if you wonder how much that's costing, it's, let's see, I believe it's a $54 position. But with as much money I got in there, if you look, what's my floor? So if you look at what my floor is, in other words, where it would cash me out of the position, because it can cash you out of the position if you don't have enough money in that position. You have to have some leftover money in margin. This is very low risk. And, all right. So it went up in some price again. This is a very low risk position because as much money I got in there. But as I add more, the dynamics of it change. So, all right. So I've added that position. Now, I want to get ready for my next position. I might not use it, but 2,000's now it's gonna take 2,000 to double the position. Well, what's that going to do? It's going to split this distance. So I'm up cost averaging, down cost averaging. This is up cost averaging in a short position. And, you know, it makes sense to do this. So then I just monitor these, monitor and see if what my MACD, see if I'm going to get a crossover between these two indicators. And you don't need to know what's going on. You can see as it goes negative, see how this crosses over? So that's just an indicator for you that when the blue line's on top, that's positive. When the red line goes over the blue line, you see that's negative. So if this red line and blue line start getting close, that's an indicator. It's not the indicator that you would use, but it's a indicator. And these green or white candles can build a red or a green candle. It doesn't mean they're building a red or a green candle. It's more reflective of the volume that's being traded. Momentum now, I love momentum because that's how much money is running in the system. So a lot of money running in it and a lot of trading generally pushes the price up. And when that comes down, generally the price would fall. So basically I'm waiting, and I may trim this video from here, so you may get a gap right here, and I'll trim some out, and then you'll see I'll have a different position as I wait. But I might do it here. It's kind of going sideways. The momentum's decreasing. Heck, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So let me open a 2,000 short. See, my red line came up. Now my position is a $4,000 short. My average open price is $218. And right now I'm negative $15. My estimated liquidation price is $6.78. It would have to go up to $6.78 to close out my position. But of course you wouldn't want to wait that long. That's just because of the excess money that's in the account that's not being used to purchase the position. It would use that money to keep you in the position. So you just need to follow that and make your own liquidation price. Come up with your own liquidation price. All right, so right now we're getting into profit. Now what I like to do is set up for the close. So quantity, this will be 100%, and I can put close the short position 4,000 at any time that I have profit. Right now I'm at $1. So, you know, that's not a lot of profit. And we're probably going to fall pretty good. This, well, you're watching me make money. Here we are. You say, you only got 4,000. You could put a whole lot more in. Yeah, but this is what it handed me right here ready to go, so I'll take it. I didn't have to go to 8,000 or 16,000, you know, to pull that bottom red line up so that I'd make money on the descend. So I'm going to go ahead and close. Let's take the $3. There. Is that a big deal? No. But you see the whole process. So if you're interested in making money that way, you know, you do 10 trades and make $10 each trade, you've made $100 extra. But I could hold out. Now the time will tell. This will probably end up that this position would have made me probably about $30 or $40, and probably, I'm guessing, would come down to around 217 something. But you see the point. Scan the image. They have ways that they will give you money just by signing up. By if you choose to go KYC, you don't have to, but they give you 30 UTC. That's money that goes towards trading. And there's a way to get 70 more. And as you trade, I've earned over 2,000, you know, trading and all the different things. So that they come up with different programs, you know, to earn you some. So that's kind of fun. You can only use it for trading, and then sometimes they give you some, for fees, but sometimes they give you some that you can use for trading. Well, that's what I have for you. Scan that image if you're interested and get yourself started. All right, I'll see you next video.